Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking into something pretty fascinating, almost sounds like science fiction maybe, how to absorb skills, knowledge, even the way someone thinks.
Yeah, we're diving deep into Deep Trance Identification, or DTI.
And we're pulling this straight from the source, the book Deep Trance Identification, Unconscious Modeling and Mastery by Sean Carson, Jess Marion, and John Overdurf.
It's all about this powerful method they lay out for modeling someone else, but unconsciously.
Right. So it's not just, watching someone and copying them consciously. It's like building a whole model of that person, skills, beliefs, values, the lot inside your own mind.
And the idea, the promise, is pretty amazing, isn't it? A kind of shortcut to getting good at stuff, finding surprising things about human potential, and really understanding change.
Yeah, exactly. So this deep dive, it's for you listening. We want to unpack this source material so you can really get a handle on what DTI is and how it's supposed to work.
Okay, let's get started.
So fundamentally then, what is deep trance identification?
Well, at its heart, it's about creating that internal version, that model of the person you want to learn from. They call them the model right inside your own sort of neurological wiring.
Okay.
It goes way beyond just consciously trying to imitate someone. It's meant to be this deeper, unconscious absorption of their patterns, their way of being.
So the goal isn't just knowing about it, it's making their skills actually available to you, like you can pull them up when needed.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And it taps into something we kind of do natural anyway, Think about mirror neurons.
Ah, right.
How reading a story or watching someone can light up parts of your brain like you're doing it.
Yeah.
DTI is like taking that natural wiring and aiming it, making it intentional for specific skills you want.
Okay, that makes sense. Focusing that learning ability. Now, the book mentions the history, how this DTI protocol came about. It wasn't just cooked up overnight.
No, not at all. It's got this interesting backstory. John Overdurf was teaching something related way back in his Hypnosis 2 workshops.
Mhm.
That stuff eventually became the book Training Trances. And he linked it to things like photo reading, using these DTI-like ideas to unconsciously grab info from a book by modeling the author.
And then Sean Carson and Jess Marion, they really took that ball and ran with it. It's been about a year, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Just intensely experimenting, playing with DTI techniques.
They even use superheroes, which sounds fun.
We'll definitely get to that.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly effective. But yeah, their work kind of merged with John's when they taught their first DTI course. They had dinner, talked it through.
Compared notes.
Exactly. Found they'd arrived at similar places but from different angles. And that led to the book, blending it all together.
So the book lays out a structure, right? Like phases for the whole process.
Yeah, they use this travel metaphor.
Sure.
Phase 1, preparing for the DTI. Like packing your bags, deciding where you're going. Phase 2, the DTI experience itself. That's the journey. Phase 3, integration. Bringing it all back home into your life.
And phase 4.
Application, testing, and refinement. Using the skills, tweaking them, making them better.
Okay, let's start with phase 1 then, preparation. The book really hammers home that this step is critical.
Absolutely crucial. Maybe even the most important part for some people. You've got to know your destination before you start packing.
Makes sense.
So what are the key things you need to nail down here?
You need crystal clarity on the outcome. What specific skills, abilities, resources, qualities are you actually aiming for?
And it needs to be personal, right?
Yeah.
Why do you want this? And where, when, who, the context you'll use it in.
That context piece is massive, and it leads straight into the ecology check. This is like the big safety check before you start.
Ecology check.
Yeah. Is this whole thing, like outcome, the process, genuinely aligned with your values, your identity, your bigger purpose? Does it fit who you are?
Ah, okay. Because they mention things can go sideways if it's not a good fit. Like that Stephen Gilligan example, modeling Erickson and getting a temporary arm issue.
Exactly. Or that marketing student who modeled his mentor.
Right, the one who valued help everybody, but the mentor was more help the worthy. Yeah, and it caused all sorts of problems because the values clashed. That's why the ecology check and choosing the right model in the first place is so vital.
Okay, choosing the model. This isn't just picking the obvious #1 expert, is it? The book suggests some, well, less obvious ways.
Definitely. The standard way is, sure, pick the best in your field. Yo-Yo Ma for cello, your sensei for martial arts, whatever.
But they also suggest modeling someone totally outside your field. How does that work?
It can be incredibly creative. Think play cello like Picasso, or Sherlock Holmes does Wing Chun.
Huh.
The classic example they use is Steve Jobs in calligraphy. Seemingly unrelated, right? But that aesthetic sense, deeply influenced Apple's design.
Yeah.
Modeling outside your box brings in fresh perspectives.
That's a great point. Not just the skill, but the underlying feeling or approach. What else?
You can think about physical stuff for basketball. Model someone your size, or maybe someone totally different to learn different strategies. Or an 80-year-old master for longevity.
Okay, now this one really got me. Modeling the opposite of your role model.
Yeah. Like Superman versus Lex Luthor. Superman's got the power.
Right.
Luthor uses smarts, strategy, cunning, ambition, different paths to goals.
So you're not modeling the bad stuff, but their different method.
Exactly. It's about understanding alternative strategies. Think Steve Jobs again, visionary, reality-bending design focus. Contrast that with Bill Gates' practicality, market opportunity, coding depth. Modeling Gates gives you a completely different angle on building a tech giant.
That's powerful, seeing the other side. And they even mentioned modeling someone with, like, zero skills in the area. That sounds wild.
It does sound counterintuitive, yeah. The book hints it relates to dissociating from your own current limits. Understanding the absence helps clarify the presence you want. Bit abstract, maybe.
We'll park that one for now. Okay, so you've picked your model. Now you need to build a really deep picture of them, not just the highlights.
Absolutely. You need their history, the events that made them who they are, not just their best moments. They call it building an event matrix.
Event matrix. So you gather specific stories, moments from their life.
Exactly. And the juice is in the details, like that Lord Nelson story at Copenhagen. Ordered to retreat, telescope to the blind eye.
Ships. I see no ships.
Yeah, classic. That one moment tells you so much more than just saying he was brave. It shows leadership, aggression, maybe recklessness, calm under fire, wit, inspiring trust, all layered in there.
And the book says the real learning kicks in when you imagine being there, on the deck with him, feeling it.
Yes, that's the unconscious part, firing up the mirror neurons. You imagine the cannon sounds, the smell, the tension. DTI just makes that intentional.
Got it. And to really get inside their world, they talk about exploring them using logical levels.
Right, that framework. It helps break down the model beyond just what they do or wear. It gets into how they think, what they believe, their identity, environment, behavior, capabilities, states, beliefs, values, meta programs, identity.
They use Thomas Edison a lot for this. Let's unpack some of that.
Okay, yeah. Like him asking his mom for a chemistry lab as a kid, that shows confidence, right? A belief like you can create stuff. A value for discovery, and that towards pleasure drive.
And asking for a lab on the train. That takes even more guts, more internal drive.
Totally. Then adding the printing press on the train. That shows he understood the need for capital, saw money as a tool for more experiments.
Using the telegraph to sell papers, great victory. Pure entrepreneurial hustle.
Yeah, spotting the opportunity. Or saving that kid and asking for telegraph lessons instead of cash shows he valued learning, saw technology's future potential.
Working insane hours, then inventing. That's dedication, work ethic, core values right there.
And that voting machine flop. Huge lesson.
All right.
Invent what the market needs, not just clever gadgets.
Moving to New York, Menlo Park. That's belief in himself. I can invent anything. Plus the value of building a business, leading a team. His identity shifting.
Drawing endless filament designs. Sending explorers for bamboo. That's belief in persistence. Exploring all options, wanting the best.
And when the bulb worked, then blew out. Not failure, just feedback. That unstoppable state, valuing experimentation.
Maybe the best one? Noticing the Edison effect, how the filament burned out. Instead of frustration, it was, what's wrong here? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Pure curiosity. That led to the valve, radio, TV tech. Amazing.
Wow. Those moments really paint a picture. Even his reaction to the GE deal, look at all the fun I had with the money, confirms money was just fuel for the fun, the inventing.
Exactly. The event matrix, viewed through logical levels, gives you this rich, deep sense of the person's core, strategies, and being.
Okay, preparation done, deep model built. How do you actually do the DTI? What are the main techniques?
A big one is perceptual positions, used all the time in coaching, sometimes without naming it. It's how Gilligan famously modeled Erickson.
Perceptual positions, remind me, there are 4.
Yep. First position, just you in your body, seeing, hearing, feeling as yourself.
Yeah.
Your normal state. Second position, stepping into the model, seeing through their eyes, feeling their feelings. Total association. Some people do this naturally, like, I bet you're thinking.
Third position, the observer. Outside, watching yourself in the model, like a camera. Detached, logical. Again, some people lean this way naturally. Let's look at this logically.
And third position is really useful for DTI specifically.
Why is that?
Several reasons. You can see yourself at the model, compare things objectively. It's a stepping stone to dissociation if needed. It clears the palate before going into second, gives you space after, and it can actually be easier to associate into the model from third sometimes.
Interesting. And there's that subtle point about whether you leave your own stuff behind in third, like a know-nothing state, or bring it with you so the blending starts sooner.
Yeah, a bit of a nuance the authors debated affects how it feels. Then there's fourth position.
Even more detached.
You could say that it's like pure awareness, floating above, observing space between things, the whole system. They link it to a breathing technique to help you become the space. The idea is it creates a null set for your dominant brain hemisphere, allows unconscious reorganization, a sense of boundlessness.
Wow. Okay. Heavy stuff. What else besides perceptual positions for the experience?
They offer the beat pattern, B-E-A-T, body, emotional, awareness, thoughts, a way to chunk down the experience.
So you imagine the model, then look at their beat.
Kind of. You notice their body, physiology, posture, breathing, B. Then describe their emotions until you feel them. E. Then pay attention to their awareness, what they notice, how they filter senses, their focus. A. Think Edison seeing patterns, Mozart hearing whole symphonies.
And T is thoughts, stepping inside their head.
Exactly. Internal representations, like Gilligan being surprised by the stillness inside Erickson's mind compared to his own busy thoughts.
Breaking it down like that beat seems really practical and good for ecology too, right?
Absolutely. You can be selective. Maybe you want Erickson's strategic mind, T, and awareness, A, but not his physical issues, B. Or you model someone's business acumen, but swap out their competitive anger, B, for something more useful to you.
That makes sense. Okay, you've done the DTI experience. Phase 3, integration, bringing it back, making it yours.
And boom, ecology, check again, front and center. Is what you brought back really compatible? Does it serve you? We talk about Gilligan's arm, the marketing student's value clash.
So if there is a clash, especially values, how do you fix it? They mentioned the hypnotic mind meld. Love the name.
Like chuckle. Yeah, you gotta love Star Trek. It's a way to reconcile those clashes. Back to Andrew, the marketing student. His value, help everybody. Model's value seemed like only help the worthy. Big conflict.
How did the mind meld work there?
They guided Andrew to find an event where the model did offer help broadly, but worthiness became about who accepted the help. It reframed unworthy to simply not ready yet.
Right.
And they used a metaphor.
What a bridge builder.
Yeah. The model builds bridges for everyone, but doesn't force them to cross. That reconciled the values without changing either core belief. Finding that reconciling event or metaphor is key.
Neat. Okay, finally, phase 4. Application, testing, refinement. Using it in the real world.
Right, and you need to link the DTI state to real-world triggers so you can access it instantly.
Sounds like the swish pattern from NLP.
Exactly that. Link the trigger, seeing your boss, needing confidence to stepping into that DTI state. Maybe Superman's inner strength and calm. Swish.
And the double swish.
Links the trigger to the model, and the model to your awesome future self who already has this integrated, reinforces the whole thing.
Plus future pacing.
Definitely. Mentally rehearse using the skills in different future situations. Builds the neural pathways, makes it feel automatic.
The book then goes into some really generative uses beyond fixing specific problems.
Yeah, one of the coolest is Future Self DTI. Came out of work with weight loss, body image stuff.
Modeling your future self.
You create this really vivid, compelling image of future. You achieve the goal, happy, healthy, living it. Then you associate deeply into that future self. Feel it, sense it. Then dissociate and immediately associate back into your present self, but transformed by that future feeling.
Whoa. So you bring the future feeling back into now.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
And the book claims this one process can collapse potentially hundreds of individual DTI learnings into one go.
How?
Because it teaches your unconscious the skill of learning through DTI itself. The goal isn't just one skill, it's becoming the kind of person who can just look at someone admirable and poof, start taking on their useful traits automatically, like how masters learn.
That's a big claim. Very powerful idea.
It is, and they push the boundaries even more. Animal DTI modeling a jaguar's focus, a bear's presence.
And the superhero DTI we mentioned earlier, why does modeling, say, Wolverine actually work? Seems kind of crazy.
Multiple reasons psychologically. One, spontaneous regression.
Yeah.
Taps into those super fast childhood learning states.
Kids learn incredibly fast, yeah.
2, bending reality. Superheroes ignore physics, right? Stepping into that frame makes your mind more flexible, challenges your own limiting beliefs about what's possible. It's that law of requisite variety flexibility rules.
Archetypes, too.
Absolutely. They're powerful, unconscious symbols, courage, resilience, Justice. You tap into that deep symbolic well.
And the obvious one.
It's fun. Novelty fun, that means dopamine. Dopamine boosts learning and memory. Plus, hard to stay stuck when you're tackling your problem as, I don't know, Wonder Woman.
Okay, walk me through the Wolverine example then. How does it work?
You pick the hero, build their event matrix, key moments, embodying their qualities. Figure out the context you need those qualities for. Then you might imagine Wolverine appearing.
Ask permission.
Yeah, respect the unconscious representation. Then maybe go to third position, observe, then step into Wolverine. Feel the healing, strength, claws, but also the focus, resilient.
When you take Wolverine into the context.
Right. A difficult meeting, or maybe metaphorically cutting through procrastination. You experience navigating that context as Wolverine. Feel safe, protected. Then journey back, dissociate, integrate the useful bits, come back to yourself.
And that double reverse DTI with Jess as Wolverine.
That's a twist. You stay associated as the model, Wolverine, but then step back into yourself, Jess.
So you're Jess, but experiencing the world through Wolverine's filters and abilities.
Pretty much. It forces the model's qualities to adapt to your body, your world, your limitations. Makes the integration really deep, blends the identities.
Wild. And they even mention supervillain DTI modeling Magneto. Seriously.
With a big health warning. It's not about modeling evil intent. But villains often have incredible work ethic, ambition, strategic minds, charisma.
Things that could be useful.
Exactly. If you temper them with your own ethics and positive values. The Magneto example was about modeling his calm command of an audience, his planning, his magnetism, useful leadership skills, stripped of the bad stuff.
Okay, so it's a rich toolkit, and you can mix and match these techniques.
For sure. Use perceptual positions with beat. Bring in other things like clean language, symbolic modeling, explore the metaphors deeper, like Spider-Man's flexibility as a space or courage as a feeling in your chest.
So wrapping this up, this deep dive into the book shows DTI is this really broad system, from structured phases and techniques like perceptual positions, beat, all the way to using stories, history, even superheroes.
Yeah, it's presented as this really dynamic way to learn fast, shift perspective, get past limitations, and integrate powerful new ways of being.
And the core message seems to be, this isn't magic. It's about directing that unconscious modeling ability that apparently you already have. DTI just gives you the instructions.
A map and tools for intentional change, yeah. And maybe the thought to leave everyone with is this. If learning the skill of DTI itself means you can collapse learning time so drastically,
Yeah.
what really becomes possible when you can just look at someone real, fictional, future you and automatically start embodying their best, most useful qualities? What could you achieve then?
Definitely something to think about.